Good morning, welcome back. I'm Cory.
And I'm Wallace.
And we're an early retired couple that are traveling the world. At the moment, we're in Georgetown, Malaysia.
Today we are going to head out and grab some breakfast, and then we're gonna take you for a little walk around this area of Georgetown and have a look at some of the street art, which this area is very famous for. So hopefully you come along and take in the sights with us. We've been here in Georgetown for a couple days now. Just spent the time relaxing, catching up on some sleep after our hectic trip to Hong Kong, and Cory was working on some YouTube video editing.
You don't realize when you travel full-time that you need a vacation from like the hecticness.
Yep, taking a vacation to recover from our vacation. It's a new concept, but there you have it. So today really is the first day we're wandering around this area of Georgetown, and it is really pretty. It's very hectic, very busy, and it's got a very different vibe than what KL had. It feels very much more local and authentic here.
It's very old.
Yes.
All the buildings are very well worn, I guess, because they look like they're from the colonial times and they have not been upkept. I mean, there's murals and stuff that make it really pretty, but for the most part, everything looks rough.
Yeah, a lot of these buildings are from like the 1800s, early 1900s, and they definitely look it. So, well, as we walk around today, we'll point some of those out so you can see for yourselves. So you can see how old some of these building facades are. It is currently a Saturday morning, and there are a lot of people out, lots of bikes zipping around, a lot of people. And just generally a lot of hustle and bustle as people are out doing their thing on a Saturday morning.
We're gonna go to Every Fresh Bar for breakfast. It has a seeables. It was on the 5 meat gluten free app. A decent rating.
This place is pretty small. Just a few tables here.
It has a small menu.
So the menu here is coffees, teas, juices, and smoothies. And smoothie bowls, which is probably what we're gonna go for today.
Me and Wallace got the same thing. I got the mango dragon fruit seeable, except they forgot to put the acai in, so it's just a mango dragon fruit bowl with a little bit of honey. And the only difference is Wallace got the muesli. I don't trust muesli, so I skipped that part. The fruit is really fresh, and the base is, I guess, a mix of berry and a yogurt base, and it's really good. It's like everything I want, just fresh fruit.
Like Cory said, I got the same thing. Mango dragon fruit smoothie bowl. Mine does have some granola as well as some nuts and seed muesli on top as well. So yeah, it looks really good. It's also really, really full, and let's try to get into here. Get a little of everything here. Oh, that dragon fruit is delicious. So is the mango. It's really good. So yeah, we're gonna dig in.
I was saying how this town is very old. You can see how run down a lot of the buildings are, and this place was definitely not built for cars or modern day, because these sidewalks, they don't go all the way through. A lot of times they're blocked off from traffic, such as motorcycles or even storefronts. And the streets are very, very narrow, if that gives you any indication.
The next stop on my breakfast tour is this little place behind me called La Vie en Rose Patisserie, and it's a little French bakery that we passed by a couple days ago that I've been wanting to check out. We went in and it looks like they've got just all sorts of delicious baked goods, croissants, pain au chocolat, and the like. So we're gonna go in and have a look and see what I can find for myself this morning. Good morning. Hello, good morning. This place looks and smells incredible. And as you can see when Cory pans the camera here. Okay, can I get... Okay, I'm gonna have a Christmas pain au chocolat, and can I also get one of the plain croissants for takeaway?
One takeaway.
My 2 baked goods have arrived, and so I got a regular croissant for takeaway because I'm going to have that a little later because it looked amazing. What I'm having now is the Christmas pain au chocolat, one of their specials today. It looks incredible. I mean, everything down there in their display case looked incredible, so I'm just going to get in here with my hands and just dig in. They've given me a fork and knife, but this is going to be too flaky to eat properly like that, so here we go. That's just beautiful. It's buttery, it's flaky, there's nice gooey dark chocolate in the middle. That is just fantastic. It is just super flaky. Put that up to the camera here so you can see. Yeah, that's really good. Okay, so I've decided to try my regular croissant as well because the pain au chocolat was amazing, and I'm sure this is going to be the same. It's super light and fluffy and like just, yeah, it looks beautiful. That's good. It was the best croissant I've ever had in my life, and it's pretty much finished now, so there you have it. La Vie en Rose Patisserie here in Georgetown, Malaysia. Highly recommend.
This is a very good example as to why the sidewalks are kind of useless. So we wanted to stay on this sidewalk because of the shade, and it's blocked off. And as you can see, it's not very easy to stay out of the traffic. The street art is so cute. Somebody took, or the artists are so amazing.
So this is Chow Gelato, apparently Penang's #1 artisanal ice cream. We'll see how it is. We've got our gelato. Cory went with pistachio, I went with matcha, and both of these are 2 of their top 5 flavors according to this little info placket here. So I'm gonna try mine. Oh, this is legit gelato. Wow. Oh my goodness, that's incredible. It's not very sweet. It's incredibly rich in flavor. So gelato versus ice cream, it uses more milk and there's less air incorporated, so it's more dense, and the flavor profile is very rich as a result. I don't know if you can see that. It's hard to see on the GoPro, I know, but...
Try the pistachio.
Okay, I'm gonna try Cory's pistachio. Wow, you literally taste like fresh pistachio nuts, you taste fresh matcha. There's relatively very little sugar compared to what we're used to back home. This is incredible.
My turn. Wow. That just tastes like matcha. It is. I love matcha. I like matcha on a regular basis. This, wow, just mind blowing. Here's the pistachio. Like Wallace said, it just tastes like pistachio nuts with a hint of creaminess. There's not a lot of sugar to be had. This, definitely a high recommendation.
And yeah, Cory's eyes wide response says it all right there. This is incredible, and we are gonna get into this before it all melts. I was just reading the little info plaque here, and their pistachio gelato is their most popular flavor, and I'm not surprised, because apparently 85% or up to 85% of the pistachio gelato on the market, they use almond paste with chlorophyll to make it green. So most people haven't even tasted real pistachio gelato because they cut it to make it more, I guess, economical and cheaper to produce. Chow Gelato here hand peels their pistachios, they roast them and then grind it into a paste themselves and make this in-house. And you can really tell, because when we are eating that pistachio gelato, you taste the pistachio, like it tastes like freshly roasted nuts, which was absolutely incredible. Cory and I have had really good gelato before. Our favorite back home in Canada is a place called Bella Gelateria in Vancouver, which has won international awards in Italy for their gelato. This place here in Georgetown was better, hands down. So very, very pleased with our random find here. We just happened to stumble across here as we were out walking around looking at street art, and I believe we will be coming back at some point in the next week or so that we're here. So just one more comment on the quality here. They serve the gelato in these double-walled stainless steel bowls to control the temperature. And in fact, for the actual storage of their gelato, they imported a pazzetti, which is a traditional vessel, I guess. Like, it's the big unit they're using to actually store all the gelato there that's for sale. And they imported that piece of equipment from Italy to be as authentic as possible and to retain the freshness and the flavor. So I'm just going to take you over there real quick and just show you what that looks like.
We can't actually get to this one. I don't know if it'll show, but this is one of the murals. Very well done. This is why we can't get in, because it's behind a locked gate. I love seeing like this. It says artists for stray animals. even if handicapped, still love me. And it just says to tag artist. I'm not really sure what they mean. I'm not sure if it's a donation bin or something else, but I love when people try to bring attention to stray animals. So I was just talking to the person who runs this place. They take 30% cut and give it to the shelter. 70% goes to the artist. So they just provide the space for the artist to sell the stuff. And it sounds like they've got 2 different shelters that they're donating to. The Langkawi, it's on Langkawi Island. And also there was a different one. I'm not familiar with the shelters here. But there's 2 dogs here that they rescued from the street. And they said that they have many friends here, human friends, that people come and say hi to them. So these guys are rescues from the street.
Hey, beautiful.
Hi. Oh, hello. Oh, you're so sweet.
So cute.
I love these stories. I love seeing success stories.
Hey, buddy.
But this place is super cool, so I will film it a little bit. And if you shop here, you're supporting shelters, which is win-win in my books. You can get almost anything here. This is easily the hottest we have ever experienced.
Yeah, on this trip so far, today it is 33 degrees, and with the humidity index, it feels like 41 Celsius. So it is really important to stay hydrated. Wear a hat, wear sunglasses, wear sunscreen, because we've been out in the sun for a couple hours now, wandering around checking out the street art, which has been very, very cool. But yeah, no joke, guys, it's hot out. Stay hydrated if you're here.
We were gonna go back to Sambal for dinner. We called and made a reservation. And we didn't even give her name for the reservation, but because we did it through WhatsApp, we assumed that's how she got her name. She ended up calling us back.
She being the owner of the restaurant.
And she said that she recognized the name from the previous time that we were there. So that was like, what, 2 days ago?
Yeah, 2 nights ago. Remembered who we were, remembered that Cory was gluten-free, and recommended that instead of going to Sambal tonight, we try her other restaurant, Belachan, which is a tapas restaurant, which she called and told us to try there because they have even more gluten-free options.
That is just a level of service I am not used to. To be called back after you make a reservation recommending going to a different restaurant altogether.
Yeah.
Something I've never experienced.
And she specifically said that she is going to be at the other restaurant tonight and that she would personally take care of us when we get there. So Cory's going to get looked after again for gluten-free, and there won't be any worries tonight.
This is the restaurant that she wanted us to go to.
Yes, we have a reservation. So at first glance, this place is even smaller than Sambal is, because there's one four-top there, and then it's just bar seats here, and looks like, what, 10 seats? And that's about it. You'll notice that I am no longer sitting in Belachan, and that is because we got there, we sat down, got our menus, and as it turns out, unfortunately, the menu didn't really work well for Cory. While there were a lot of naturally gluten-free items on that menu, there was also a lot of things that were squid egg and lamb and pork and other stuff like that. So she didn't catch that. Cory is also mostly vegetarian slash pescatarian. So we ended up deciding to come back to Sambal, called to make sure there was a table available. But in the meantime, I also messaged Janelle, the owner, and she made arrangements to get us a table here. And as we walked out of Belachan, she was just pulling up in her car. Her sous chef was driving her around running errands, and they gave us a ride back over here to Sambal, so we didn't even have to walk. So that is the level of service and attentiveness at this restaurant. Just absolutely floored by the amount of attention that we got from her. So really happy with the level of service. We're now back at Sambal. We've placed our order, and it's going to be another really incredible meal.
I got the drink called Pandan by Sambal. It's got pandan vodka, toasted coconut flakes, coconut milk, guava malacca. Not sure what that is.
Guava malacca is palm sugar.
Oh, Wallace just said it was palm sugar. It looks really fancy. It's a little hard to drink because of the coconut on the rim, but it's just milky. The pandan doesn't really come through. It's still good. I got the salad, Noriana Punya salad. I might be butchering the name. If I am, I'm very sorry. Holy cow. Again, I can't even identify like half the flavors, but it's like a melody in my mouth. It's so good. So many different flavors going on. Sweet, sour, salty. Yeah.
So I'm just going to read off the menu because there is a lot going on in that salad. It is beetroot, green mango, French beans, ginger flower, toasted coconut, toasted ground nuts, and a chef's special balsamic reduction. So yeah, there's a lot of flavors going on in that plate. Dish number 2 just arrived, and this one is one that we are going to share. It's the oolong coconut noodle, and this was off the menu. Again, Janelle, the owner, recommended we try this one because it's gluten-free, friendly for Cory. And what it is coconut water that they mix with konjac to make a noodle. So you can kind of see that up. Cory, if you want to come in a little closer, I don't want to hold this out in case I drop it. So that's an interesting noodle. And I think it's got like lime juice and coconut and a whole bunch of other stuff in here. It looks like green onion and something else. And fish sauce. That's very interesting. It's very almost Vietnamese Thai inspired kind of flavors. The noodle texture is actually really quite nice. Very interesting. My appetizers arrived, and this is the Mala chicken wings, and it's a spicy fried chicken wing with a Szechuan peppercorn and mala oil. So it should be nice and spicy and crispy and delicious. I'm just gonna go with my hands here. Oh, it's really crispy. Oh. That's the best chicken wing I've had in a long time. Super light and crispy, spicy, salty. You got a lot of flavor from that Szechuan peppercorn and the chili oil they're using. Oh, that's beautiful. All right, and my main course has shown up. I'm just going to switch chopsticks here so I don't gluten Cory. This is the drunken prawn noodle dish. I can't remember the name. We'll put it up on the screen later. But this is wild white prawns with glass noodles. So these noodles are mung bean. So this is gluten-free, and it's in a creamy, milky prawn bisque soup base. So it's just beautiful and rich and creamy. I don't know if you can see that, if you want to pan in a little tighter. So we got these glass noodles here. There's some prawns under there. I'm just going to taste the noodles. Look at the size of that prawn. That is huge. And there's ginger and I think mushrooms in here. Oh, that's really tasty.
Another amazing meal at Sambal. I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, such incredible value for the quality of food you get. The service is amazing. The owner's recommendations for tonight, we've tried a bunch of those dishes, and yeah, they were really good. Any closing thoughts on that meal?
We are trying new things, and it's really nice to be expanding our palates, I guess, for lack of a better term. It's just nice to have like so many options when you're gluten-free, because it just felt like in Canada you're always kind of like stuck with what you know. So it's nice to be experimenting with new things.
Yeah, and the thing is, before we started traveling, one of Cory's biggest concerns was a fear of not being able to find gluten-free food. And as it turns out, a lot of these places have done it better than anything we're used to back home.
To be fair though, for the average traveler, it is expensive. But again, if anybody is gluten-free, they understand that there's an extra cost.
Yeah.
It's just a cost of, unfortunately, people thinking that it's a choice.
Yeah, so I mean, again, bottom line, if you're gluten-free, you're already paying this kind of money. But here, you get really good food for that money.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's my thoughts on that. That was another fantastic meal, and that's our second visit here to Sambal, and we're here for another 10 days or so, and guaranteed we'll be back at least once or twice more. That's it for tonight. We're gonna head back to our Airbnb. We hope you've enjoyed coming along with us today to check out Georgetown and the street art and food scene here, which we think is fantastic. So hopefully you liked this video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up to give us a like and subscribe.
And we hope that you'll join us in the next video for more adventures. And until then, stay curious and keep exploring.